Yo, over my shoulder is an Arrma Limitless V2. This thing says 110 miles an hour out the box, but it doesn't have a motor in it, and I bought it anyway. So we're gonna put a motor in it, an ESC in it, batteries. We're gonna balance it. We're gonna mess with the suspension. I'm gonna give you guys tips. We're gonna learn together. It's gonna be incredible. Let's go from a 5.7. This extreme RC car from Arrma is what's called a roller, which means no electronics. And that's good news because we can scour the internet, go on YouTube, and we can find the parts that we need off of eBay, Jenny's RC, Arrma Actual. This is gonna be fun. The ideal setup for the advanced enthusiast that wishes to push the boundaries of speed and performance. But first, friends, we're gonna need to operate a little bit. So the drill's coming out, the bit is going in, and we're gonna move around a couple things and re-engineer it a little bit. Let's get it. There's nothing worse than seeing a car crash and seeing the ESC fly all over the place. So not only are we gonna use 3M tape, but we're also going to bolt this thing in. So our first tip, what you see me doing now, is making an impression of where the bolt pattern is gonna go. We're gonna drill these things out. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Don't try this at home. No, really, don't try this at home. I should have had a wood block, but I didn't. But we got the job done, so let's move on. I had to teach myself how to solder. I still suck at soldering, so don't laugh at my job. And keep in mind, I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit. But yeah, perfect practice makes perfect, so I'll keep practicing. Tip number 2, get yourself some QS8 connectors. All the big dogs use QS8s. They handle way more voltage going through. So this is what you want as you start moving up the ladder in your builds. So start with QS8s and you don't have to go backwards like I'm doing. Tip tray. This white wired in here in the Castle XLX2, that's if you need an auxiliary. Most folks are not using an auxiliary, so you could take it out. The reason why I'm taking it out, not only am I not using it, but there's a lot of wires in my build, you'll see. So I'm trying to keep it clean and nice and sexy. Button up the soldering job with the QS8 cover, and it's all done. Looks pretty sharp, I'd say. And this is what's called a parallel setup. So I'm gonna have 4S on one side, 4S on the other side. So this is an 8S system or 30 volts. Now, I can't guarantee much, and I definitely can't guarantee that I won't crash this thing doing 110 plus miles an hour, but hopefully this ESC never flies out. Yo, that drill getting work. Yeah, man, the drill getting work. This is tip number 4. It's kind of hard to assess the droop screws, so if you want to address the droop screws really quick, you're going to make a little hole in the A-arm on both sides. Now we can penetrate our A-arm with our 2mm driver and set the droop. To set the droop is to set the ride height of the vehicle. Tip number 5, you want your ride height set down to about 1 finger pad. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'm definitely gonna have to redo this when all the weight gets in here, but I just wanted to show you guys what we're talking about when we say fingertip. So for steering, we selected a Monster Perfect Pass Servo. All metal gearing. This thing is super strong, super fast. Raz Chevron. That dude is dope. Not a ton of real estate here. We got to push this thing inside of the holder. And man, it's a tight fit, but we'll get it. Tip 6, get the best servo you can afford. This is not the time to go cheap on us. This little guy is called the servo arm. It comes with the set. Here, we're going to upgrade the center drive shaft. Scorched RC makes the Trident made out of titanium. It's stronger, lighter, and the 3 ball bearings eliminate some of the vibrations going through the drivetrain. This OEM center spool is 39 tooth, or is that teeth? Tooth and teeth, but it's 39 of them. Side-by-side comparison, you can see how much thicker the new ones are. I'm excited about this product because I have seen dog bones curl up under pressure. Crazy. This is the Trident output cup. It goes right there. It replaces the original. The original has 1 grub screw. The Trident has 2. The 3 bearings fit snugly inside of this output cup for reduced friction. Out with the old one, in with the new one. Let's go. Yeah, man, the new one is much bigger, and these bearings are running free. And as you can see, the backside has the same dog bone, but just thicker. They call this guy a Pinocchio nose. The reason why it's extended like this is so the dog bone can be shorter, so the dog bone to have less propensity to bend under load. I'm pretty sure I used propensity correctly, am I right? It's like jumping on the bed to put your jeans on. Man, that's gonna be smooth. This soda can looking thing is a Castle Creations 2028 1700 kV constant velocity. That means it spins 1700 times per minute per volt. Whoa. Pro tip here, use Loctite. Use as much Loctite as possible. Not as much, but as strong as you can handle. Blue is good. Orange is better. Red, you'll need to heat it off. So do what your career can handle and use Loctite. Did he say orange Loctite? Yeah, man, 3 times stronger than blue. Yo, let's use this. It's a gel, so it's a little cleaner than the regular Loctite. Pro tip 8 is my pet peeve, my rant, my Arrma. Come on, this has got to be a design flaw. The original screws that come in here are horrible. They're slightly too big for what they're supposed to be. So I snatched them out, went to the hardware store, and got replacement screws. M418 or M420, the bucket heads that you could put a 3mm driver in. So history lesson. This is a receiver box. A receiver box should be waterproof. It probably is waterproof, but Arrma is not allowed to say it's waterproof because Traxxas sued them for using a waterproof box design. I'm not sure how they can sue somebody for that, but they did. Either way, this is not going to be waterproof when I'm done because I'm not going to get this car wet. This is not a basher. This is going to be a street racer. It's going to be dry and never get wet. All right, I think I got it all figured out. Monster Perfect Pass servo going into channel 1. Going into channel 2 is the Perfect Pass. Perfect Pass is then going into the Quick Connect. This dog will hang outside of the receiver box. Quick Connect is then going to go to my B-Link. My B-Link is also going to hang outside the receiver box. And then this is going to the ESC back here. So ESC, B-Link, Quick Connect, Perfect Pass, channel 2. One's to turn, two's to burn. Now to test my theory, I got to hook it up to some power. So the QS8s, these are not my ultimate batteries. My batteries are still en route. Because like I said earlier, I'm trying to transfer over to QS8. So these are IC5s, and then I can hook it up to the QS8 with the adapters. My transmitter, DX5C. Mid-grade transmitter, nothing sharp, nothing fancy. It gets the job done. But when I turn on power, you can see the blue light, you can see the fans going, and I'm gonna bind it. You push the bind button, and it's gonna flash orange. Then hit the bind mode on the receiver, correction transmitter, and watch it enter into bind mode. Blinking orange to a solid orange means we're all binded up and the car is now talking to the remote. So Castle fans are working, ESC is working, B-Link is on, servo's working, everything's working. So now I can work on bundling all this back up, putting it back together in a nice package and making it nice and neat. B-Link allows for Bluetooth communication to the car via your cell phone. Most of my electronics have a fan on it. Temps over 180, like damn, that's hot. And with some editing skills, I present to you the clean version. Arrma Limitless, ready to run. But no, we are not done. We still have carbon fiber fits to bits or bits to fits. Yes, we have to fit these carbon fiber bits. But there's no instructions, so I had to use a picture on my cell phone. Take that, China. I figured it out. No instructions. So we'll swap out this flimsy plastic one for this nice carbon fiber one. These few parts I have to swap over to make the new one. But since we're back here, we'll jump into Pro Tip 9. We'll add 1 million diff fluid to make this thing go straight on our rail. 9A, warm up your 1 million in hot water so it can be viscous. 9 million is so thick you never get it out if you don't heat it up. If you know, you know. Opening up a diff is not new, but we're gonna clean out the old and we're gonna put in the new diff oil. Replace the gasket, and we're all good to go. 4 screws and this thing is back together. I can tell you the 1 million feels way better than whatever it was when it was stock. 9B, wear gloves if you got them or else your fingers will be nasty all day. Yeah, man, you got to coach that old girl back into the barn, man. It's a tight fit in there. It'll go, but only you can do it. And then lube it up, you know what I mean? A little mariner's grease, man. And then shine the bright work when you finish, man. Get this thing right. You don't want the excess grease because then you're going to get dirt everywhere. And this leads me to pro tip 10. Yo, so the reason why that was so hard is because you see right here, I have some fuel tubing to keep the spring super stiff. Also, we scroll this thing all the way down. You see how stiff this is? It doesn't move. So what happens is it is squat under torque. You don't want it to squat under torque because the front will get hit with air, 120, 150 miles an hour. Bang! Your car is flipping down the street. You don't want your car flipping down the street, people. Put some tubing in there. Make it tight like a Porsche 911. Nice. And hopefully with these tips, it'll fly straight. I'll finish with all the fasteners here, and then I'll do the front as exactly as the back so you won't miss anything. And then I'll show you how it looks when it's all done.